But they were a sneaky bunch. We took weapons to different places. We were in that deal out at Pontchartrain where we were training people, and we had a regular mercenary camp out there. And yes, a lot of bad characters at that time were running around down there, and I was one of them. I don't like to look back in a minute, but I was. I wouldn't have liked me at that time.
Mr. MacKenzie, can you tell us a little more about the time you spent at Fort Detrick with that training? Who was it that recruited you to go get taught there?
First name only, man named Abe, and Louis McWillie, who was the mob. They were the ones that sent me up there. They put me on a boat to Miami, gave me a ticket, naturally no flight, ticket on a trailer bus, and I got there and I went in. There was an old chemical building where they'd made nerve gas and who knows what else in that building, and there was 8 of us there that were to be trained, and teachers came from CIA, from the TSS, they called it, Technical Staff Services, and they were the ones that trained us, and everything to do with, from opening letters with, stealing them open to making glues and seals and printers. I had a little press of my own, and that wasn't new to me. Print shop techniques and all sorts of things. I excelled at that. That was really a good week. One girl was among us, our group, and we were all worried that we might come down with some unheard of disease because of the building.
Right, yeah. Fort Detrick is known for a lot of biological and chemical research.
That's what this place was. They'd done nerve gas in it.
And how long were you there?
3 weeks in all. Not quite 3 weeks.
Was it like a 9 to 5 weekday schedule?
We were confined. We weren't allowed to go out. We had a little day room. And everybody slept in an open bunk area, like an army barracks for that time. Today they got army barracks so much nicer, but it was just army cots and a shower for everybody, all of us, including the girl. And it was, we fixed her so that she had a little privacy, but not much. And I don't know who any of these other people were. Nobody could tell anybody anything. You weren't allowed to.
And so at some point, how did you transition there to your next location?
Oh, they gave me a ticket back on the bus. I had a round-trip ticket on the bus to go back to get the ferry to Cuba.
Okay.
I went back there, and
it looks like
told me I was going to Chicago.
Okay. Thank you. Looks like we have another caller, and hello, caller, you're on the air.
Hey, hi, it's Joan from Providence.
Hi, Joan.
Hey, Joan.
Joan.
Hi, Rod. It's nice to hear your story in person. Hi.
How you doing?
How are you, my friend?
What do you want?
Hey,
to
know? Well, something we talked about in the Paranoia book was about the IRA,
right,
but
Joe
we didn't
Dugan.
talk too much about Joe Dugan. I'm finding it really interesting that the IRA was involved in the Kennedy assassination.
Well, I don't think they were. I'm not even sure they were. I know Joe Dugan was IRA, but I don't think I don't think it was put out by the IRA themselves.
No. And was Joe Dugan on any one of the hit teams?
What?
Was Joe Dugan on one of the hit teams? He was.
What I was told, by Mack Wallace, Joe Dugan was, and Joe himself admitted it later on to me when we were on a couple of jobs. Joe was on one of the killing teams. Evidently, where is? Let's see. Let me look in here. Joe Dugan in the alley behind the fence above the so-called grassy knoll. He claims to have done that. Not. Both of them did. Wallace and Dugan both admitted to that. And also, what's his name? Richard Kane told me that he was where Wallace said he was in the Caltex building. Yeah. So that's, there was some verification for me. Now, for anybody else, you either got to take it my word or not. Like your partner there said, it's too bad that it can't be proven.
Yeah, I know.
I think a lot of it can be proven if somebody wants to go to the trouble, but...
Yep.
Yeah,
I find it interesting, the other guy, Roger Craig, I just realized today when you were talking about him who he was, because I was watching a video of him. He was from the sheriff's office. Now, he kept changing his story over the years. He kept adding information over the years, and then I guess he committed suicide, supposedly, when he was 39.
Yeah, that's quite possible. Well, a lot of cops do that anyway.
Well, they don't know if it was real suicide or not, but, I mean, he kept changing his story and adding stuff, and...
It's always questionable, isn't it? I wonder what mine will read like.
So voice your...
Well, you can go on record saying that you're not going to commit suicide.
No, I'm not going to commit suicide, and we'll put that right in words right now. I'm
glad to hear it.
Very much alive and going to live as long as I'm let live.
Very good.
Yeah. Only the good die young.
Yeah, well, I'm all right then. I'm okay then, as you know.
All right.
The Draker boys are all that way.
You're the Draker boys, yeah. All right, well, thank you. Thank you. It's been really nice hearing your story in person.
Keep up the emails.
Thanks, Joan.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Just Joan Dark of Paranoia Magazine. And
well, I've got a lot of detractors, evidently, from what I'm told. Like I say, I don't care one way or the other, but, I expected that when I brought this thing out. When Jan Grigger told me, he said, there's people go into your story every way that they can, so fine, let them go.
Yeah.
I'm just going to tell it the way I tell it. I'm not going to change it.
Well, I think it would make a great movie, Mr. MacKenzie. I think it would really move people, even if it doesn't, it jives with so much of the data out there. Have you read many JFK assassination books?
Not really. I sort of steer away from them because I read that one Appointment in Dallas, and it sort of, I knew who the guy was that he had the picture in there of, and
he's called Saul in that book.
Yeah, he calls him Saul, and he was at my safe house in Dallas. So I knew about him, and it sort of poisoned me by reading that, and then I read a couple others, but not much, because I don't care to poison myself. I know what I know, and what I saw and what I heard, and that's, I don't want to, every time you read something else, you sort of get a different slant on things.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep my original slant, and it's just, as I say, it's for me more than it is for anybody else, unless somebody wants to use it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing to give it to somebody, or they can give me a little money if they want.
Rod, we have another caller. Hello, caller, you're on the air.
Hi, this is Al Haddell in Providence, Rhode Island. And Rod, my question to you is, based on your knowledge of the Sicilian Mafia, do you think that the Mafia today still has the capability to assassinate a president? And if not, do you know of other organized crime groups that have kind of gone ahead of the Mafia, the Italian Mafia?
On that one. I will put my neck in the noose on that one. Just go downtown where you're at and talk to Raymond Patriarca, young Raymond, and he can tell you very well what he can do.
So do you believe in the story goes that in the 80s, starting in the 80s, the feds really broke up the Italian Mafia and took down a lot of the crime bosses?
They didn't break it up as much as it went legitimate. They have more legitimate businesses than they do the crooked businesses. You know, it's just it was a matter of economics with them. They broke themselves up to a great extent. But if they want to do something, they do it.
And they do good.
The Sicilians are okay, but the like I said to you or to Joan, one or the other, I said that the Corsicans are the ones that you don't want to mess with.
Yeah.
They're the bad boys internationally today. Well, you're Russians. Your Russians aren't exactly patsies.
All right, stay tuned for the final segment of PsiOp Radio live from American Freedom Radio. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. This is the last segment of this evening's live PsiOp Radio show. Our guest is Roderick A. MacKenzie. And Rod, we have another new caller on the line. Just enough time for one more phone call. Hello, caller, you're on the air.
Sure. Hello?
Hey, Mack. Hi, Smile.
Hello there.
What did you say?
Good. How are you guys tonight?
We're doing good. How are you?
Good. Mr. MacKenzie, I want to just say it is so blessed of you to come out now and claim some atonement and some humility and do the right thing after those years that you said you're not proud of. I myself have done some things in my life that I'm not proud of, but when we come out and try to make right, it really is honorable. So I very much take my hat off to you.
Well, it's good for me to get the PTSD out of me.
Hey, I have a question, guys. It's pretty hard to imagine a 2-hour discussion of the assassination of John F. Kennedy without hearing the word George Herbert Walker Bush. And I'm wondering, as a resident of Chicago, who is an announced candidate for the United States Senate here for the people of Illinois, I'd like to know if the words Annenberg or Pritzker or Capone or any other names that are family names that are pretty famous here in Chicago ever came up in any of the things that you heard about the Kennedy assassination?
The only thing I ever heard was that Tony Accardo had given some orders for the safe house that I had, and Murray Humphreys was involved in signing me off to have that safe house. That's all I understood with Sam Giancana. That's the only people. As far as politicians go, only Dick Kane, who was worked for the Sheriff's Department later on, or before that, I don't know which. He was the only one that I knew that was politically aspiring. Of course, everybody was into politics. But,
another idea, Mr. MacKenzie, is that many, many tens of thousands of people and hundreds of thousands of people have your back, because those make it look like an accident. Those kinds of suicides are getting harder and harder for them to pull off. I also am never going to commit suicide, and it really is beautiful that all the truthers out there are, with the help of American Freedom Radio and these amazing men that you're on the phone with today, Miles, Miles and Mack.
But I thank you anyway. But if they want me, they'll get me. They would have done it long ago if they'd wanted me.
All right.
Good deeds are done in the light. Hey, here's one more question. There was a book that's come out pretty recently. Well, there was a documentary by Alice Jones, which is called The Bush Family Connection to the JFK Assassination. And it's pretty well known that the FBI Director Hoover issued a memorandum or a letter on either the 22nd of November or the 23rd of November in which he referenced George Bush from the CIA. Did the name George Bush ever come up